Those of you that are picking up on some of the lingo out here, or some of the radio conversations and Shanghai names and all kinds of names we mix into that sort of language we use almost in the radio. You heard me talk about a leopard, and they found a leopard quite a bit further north, quite a ways out of the area that we traverse in one of our neighboring properties. But didn't hear too much detail, and it sounded like a male, one of the guys up there, T-Jam. One of the cooler cats of this area as well, a very interesting character. But there's plenty of leopard around. This is Sabi Sands, one of the best areas in the world to experience leopard. So it's still very possible we might find some other leopard during the course of the afternoon. Show you just as much as everything around us is green. Just notice sort of to our left here, it's just this bush here. If you can just zoom in right close onto one of the little branches straight to our left. Just incredible greens. I mean, I've been noticing it the whole afternoon as we're driving along. Obviously now we've got very bright sunlight out this afternoon. Had a lot of this sort of dull grey light the last few days with the overcast conditions. Suddenly these colours really are jumping out. It's almost luminous green, some of it. And some of these new leaves, obviously still very young leaves. They've only been out for a few days. Still in the early stages of photosynthesizing. Starting to get that whole cycle going, converting energy from the sun into energy for the tree and using water and oxygen and all the rest of it. More specifically, actually producing oxygen, obviously, which is an incredibly important part for all mammals. They manufacture the stuff that enables us to breathe. That's why we must never forget about trees. Unfortunately, no specific tracks or signs of elephant yet, even though we might obviously find them just around the next bend. We are getting closer to Buffelshoek Dam, and I haven't noticed any fresh tracks or broken branches or anything, so we're just going to keep looking around for them. It's such a beautiful day, just to drive around is enough already. But if by the time we get to the dam and we haven't found any elephant, I'll come back to that question that Penny asked earlier today. I hope you're still on drive with us. But hopefully we will have some elephants to look at as well. A giraffe. I've got a few giraffe actually. About 3 or 4 of them, maybe part of that same group that's been around close to our camp recently. Don't go. It's normally the benefit with giraffe. Actually, I'm going to go a little bit forward, try and get a good gap here. But giraffe are generally speaking very curious animals. So quite often they might walk away a little bit, but they'll most of the time stop and stare at you as well. We're facing almost straight west, so got a bright background there. It gives you the shape of that female perfectly. One of the things I often notice about giraffe are those long eyelashes. Very handy for them. It, to an extent, acts the same as whiskers around the mouth of a dog or a cat. Giraffe's feeding on a thorny bush and sticking its head in there to get to the leaves. Those eyelashes can feel thorns and branches before it can damage the eye, and they just close the eyes if need be. Such peculiar animals. I mean, if you think of the design, the time it must have taken to evolve to this, quite amazing. I think one of the things I enjoy the most about them is how curious they are. No reason for her to keep looking at us. Well, there she goes. She's had a good look. But it really is fantastic. You get that sense of the animal looking at you and thinking, wondering, what are we doing here? Let me just move a bit again. Move away from us. Also good animals to spot things. You can often find other animals, other even creatures. I mean, they look at weird animals as well. They might stand looking at a warthog for a while, which you also find predators sometimes. Obviously an animal being 3-4 meters tall, you know, anything from 6-7 foot up to about 12-15 foot. Very good eyesight. They do tend to see things sooner than most animals. Couple of buffalo. See, they were feeling the heat of the day a little bit. This big old bull standing right in the water. As you can see, he's not really bothered by us at all. He hasn't even shown that he's seen us. Obviously he has. Buffalo have got pretty good eyesight, very good hearing. I think he's just happy and relaxed. He's got a belly full of green grass to chew on, to ruminate on. Got some nice cool water to stand in. What more does a buffalo need? I'm going to go a bit forward. There's a few more around, sort of more closer to the inlet of the dam. They were wallowing in the mud. It could look quite interesting. He's a bulky guy. Two younger bulls again. This is part of that same group we've been seeing on and off over the last few days. Maybe they just decided to pick up some of the trade secrets from the big old bulls early on. It's not typical to have young males like this in the herd, but obviously it's possible.